This week I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite machines in the boot shop. This machine is called a crimp brake. Although I do have to tell you that whenever people come in and ask for a tour of my shop and they get to this machine and they say, "What's this machine?" I always tell them it's a guillotine for unhappy customers. I thought about filming myself at my desk today and showing you what life in a boot shop is really like. I spend far too many days sitting back here at my desk, answering the phone, making phone calls, responding to emails, editing videos, paying bills, but I was afraid that would be way too much glamour for you, so instead we're going to talk about the crimp brake. With a cowboy boot, you've got, as a rule, you have 2 front panels and 2 back panels. You have the heel area, and you can see how these are just flat pieces that have made a gentle fold, and now they're part of the boot. But the foot part has to become this very 3-dimensional shape. The foot part is called a vamp, and this is a vamp pattern. So you can see it's flat. And here's a piece of cut leather, cut in the shape of a vamp. These are crimp boards behind me. And so what I would do is I would take this wet leather, I would take the wet vamp and stretch it over the crimp board, and that's what begins giving it this 3-dimensional shape. You can see that as I put this leather on the board, I've got wrinkles forming because it doesn't want to stretch onto this board. And if I were working from just this flat piece of leather onto the board, I would have quite a struggle on my hands. I've done it. I made boots for 15 years with no crimp brake, and so it can be done. It's just not nearly as fun. But with the crimp brake, what I do is I raise this blade and I put the leather in here, and then I bring the blade down. I'm not going to do this one because it's not wet, but I would bring the blade down. And basically I think of it as kind of breaking the leather spirit. I tell it, this is what you're going to do. This is a vamp that's been crimped, and you can see how I went from this flat piece to a completely 3-dimensional shape. And you can see how neatly and cleanly this new shape is going to become part of a boot. I have some exciting news. After months of waiting, I finally have my skiving knives in stock. I have a 1-inch skiving knife for wide skiving and a 3/4 inch skiving knife for narrow skiving. I hated skiving my entire bootmaking career until I found these knives. And seriously, I love these knives. They're super easy to use, and best of all, they're super easy to sharpen because I am not a good knife sharpener. Until I found these knives, and now I'm a great knife sharpener. Just ask Paige. To purchase the skiving knives, visit my website at lisasorrell.com and go to the products page. They're available on my website, lisasorrell.com, on the products page.
This is the last I ordered from Terry and Ephraim Gleck. Is that how you say their name?
Yes.
And it's a woman's last, and it's not quite a flat. It has just the tiniest little heel. And I ordered that because I would like to start getting into making high heels. And so I thought it would be good to just start out with like a little kitten heel instead of just going straight to stilettos. And it was my very first time to order lasts all by myself, which was really scary because I called them and I was on the phone and I didn't know exactly how the process was going to go yet because I'd never done it before. But I went on the website and I got the number.
What's the website?
What is the website?
Bootlast.com.
I went to bootlast.com and I looked up the last I wanted and I got the number. And so then I called them and I told them what I wanted and in what size, and they said that they would mail it to me and send my mom the invoice. So that's what I did, and it went a lot better than, I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but it went better than expected. I thought it was really important for me to learn to order my own lasts because I'm not going to be in my mom's shop forever, and whenever I am in my own workshop and I'm being a shoemaker independent of her, I would like to already have a stable relationship with suppliers and know how that's going to go and know what to do. So I think it was very valuable that I ordered my own lasts, and I'd like to keep ordering my own supplies just so I can keep building relationships. Here's your invoice, Mom.
Thanks so much. These were my very first boots. These were the first cowboy boots I ever owned or wore. I got my first job in a boot shop stitching tops for Jay Griffith, and after I'd been there for about 6 months, he allowed me to make myself a pair of boots, although at that time I was only stitching tops. So his stepson Woody actually finished the boots for me. This was my taste at the time, these pink boots, and as you can see, up in the top band, instead of dots, like this pattern normally had, I got really cute and put a heart and a flower and a heart and a flower. I find these revoltingly feminine now, but at the time they were everything I'd ever dreamed of in a cowboy boot, even though I'd only started having cowboy boot dreams 6 months earlier, because before that it had never occurred to me to wear cowboy boots.
I just got out this newspaper so I can start mauling my counters and toe boxes, and then I saw this article about these hairy, crazy ants.